I've learned more in this amount of time than ever in my life.
10 out of 10 recommend Horizons.
One of the most incredible things I've gained are amazing friends.
Cool. I'm Asif. I just graduated from U of I at Urbana-Champaign. Majored in bioengineering and chemistry, and will be going into consulting in the coming fall. Yeah. So I interned at at a startup in Chicago as a business development intern, and then moved into a formal consulting internship at PwC. And I always asked a lot of my mentors questions as to like what they wished they had done. And especially at consulting, they were all just like, I wish I knew a language, like a coding language. And what they shared with me was that technology is moving so quickly and becoming so integral in many different industries that C++ or whatever coding language, that's almost becoming like a second language, like Spanish or Urdu or whatever it might be. And so that kind of sat with me, and I tried picking up some software experience online through Code Academy, and we had access to Lynda through U of I, but it just was ultimately incredibly challenging, and I would find myself often frustrated because of some bug or some issue I couldn't understand. And so I was like, I have a job now, I know what I'm going to do, I have a summer, I could travel, but I've already done that, so why not do something that's going to add to my life as a whole? Even if it wasn't true, there's no harm in knowing it because of the fact that I'm able to now be so creative in a whole different way. I love photography and singing and all this other stuff, but in having coding, it's just a different medium to express myself as a person. So yeah, like if I didn't end up liking it, which I do, but if I didn't, it would never be a bad thing. And I think it is now, through just seeing different industries, technology is infiltrating in all ways, and so being able to troubleshoot how my iWatch is working, or like why my app isn't working, or like to trust that I can log in via Facebook on some website, those are different things that I now understand, and so having this under my tool belt is absolutely valuable. Right, so the latter half of Horizons is a project that you kind of pick based off of your interests or whomever you might find is creating something. And so one of my students, or not, one of my peers at Horizons wanted to make a smart mirror. And so we're focused on now creating a fully interactive mirror that you can have in your bathroom, where if you're brushing your teeth, you can read like the New York Times or the Wall Street Journal. Also, like if it's raining outside, the mirror will let you know that it's raining outside, and if you forget to wear like a sweater or a rain jacket, it'll project that into the mirror so that you're reminded to go pick that up. Outside of that, if that mirror was placed maybe in front of your door, you could order your Uber from it, as well as different other widgets that we're trying to add. But it's trying to integrate two different aspects of my life into one. I would love for Snapchat filters to be a thing in my smart mirror, just because that'd be incredible. But yeah, I think our entire team is just building it for themselves, and so whatever aspect that we want in our mirror, we're just gonna keep building upon that.
Cool. And is this something that you expect people to use in the future, or is it just sort of a fun side project that you want to keep?
I could totally see people using it. I know a lot of my friends who have been Snapchatting this whole process too have been like, can I buy that? I could totally see that, but that's not my goal. But I think that's where the best products come out of, is would you use it? Would you like using it? And given that, I think for sure in the future people might buy it.
Yeah.
The advice I got from a lot of consultants at PwC was that they wish they knew how to code. A lot of consultants have the access or the knowledge of where business gaps or business problems exist, but the trouble is in then executing in the solution or creating the solution around that. And so even if you're not the best learner in computer science, there's always value in being able to pick that skill up and given the fact that it's only 12 weeks, that's nothing compared to a lifetime of consulting or whatever it might be. And so I think my peers, when they hit the 2-year or 3-year mark at consulting, they always reevaluate as to whether they want to go to B school, whether they want to have their own startup, or whether they want whatever it might be. This is absolutely necessary almost, because it will empower you to kind of go ahead and start creating that small product. And I think the advice I got from a VC recently was that if your app looks too good, to them, that just means that you've spent too much time making it look good and not really spending time with actual customers and trying to implement or create the features that are relevant. And so they kind of dismiss you automatically. And so even if I'm not the best coder or I'm not the best developer, I can still create something that functionally can show what I'm trying to do. And then it makes the whole conversation with a VC or whomever it might be in the future easier. I was ridiculously frustrated when I was doing the prep work, and I kind of refused to it by the end of it. Like, I was just like, I can't do this because this doesn't make sense. But I still came into it. I was just like, even if I can't get through the prep work itself, I went to as far as I could. And then on day 0 in the first week, I think my hardest day was the first day, largely because the thinking around how to create a software solution is very different from how you approach a problem in bioengineering or in chemistry. And so it was almost like the first week was a rewiring of how to creatively utilize a Boolean or true or false function. And that happened, and after that, everything just very easily fit into place.